Guys, coming back to you with another video. Today I got to have a great commentary and some great gameplay to accompany it. It's more Velcro support because, you know, still one of the first champs to hit Mastery 7. I understood the kit too really well, so yeah, there's that. And then what I'm more excited about, guys, is the fact that 47.6 of you are subscribed to the channel. The other 52.4 of you need to subscribe and turn notification bell on when you subscribe to be up to date with the great content we have here on the channel. And that goes for anyone who subscribes. Make sure you turn the notification bell up to be part of the notification gang. And then today's commentary is going to be 4 tips to make sure you safely secure Baron. And I've seen so many games of teams trying to get Baron, and then they end up giving it up to the other team, or they end up losing it right after, guys. And you know, Baron. It's a pretty powerful buff. You get the hand of Baron buff from killing it, and it's pretty good buff. The value of bonus AD, I'm gonna read you off what it does. The value of bonus AD and AP is set at the moment your team kills Baron and does not increase over time. You get an empowered recall. Gain bonus movement speed equal to 90% of the average movement speed of all nearby champions, capped at 500. Gain slow resist. All minions except for super minions receive 75% reduced damage from AoE and damage over time abilities and attacks. Melee minions receive 50% bonus movement speed with an 800 unit, 75 bonus attack range, increased size, damage reduction, and then from minions and champs, and then caster minions. You know, basically all the same. It's a pretty powerful buff with Baron, guys. And that's why I'm going to give you some tips to make sure you secure it correctly, because Baron can flip some games on the side and make sure you win. Number 1, guys, make sure you have sufficient vision control. Vision control, important. I've talked about it a lot. You know, vision in League is one of like the biggest things. It's a very basic thing, but it's very essential. And it's incredibly important throughout the game, and it can tell your team a lot of things. I've talked about it before, when like seeing the path of the enemy jungle, and, you know, stuff like that, or watching for ganks. That's why it's important. But for Baron specifically, when taking the Baron, vision can allow you to take it safely. But know where the enemy is at any given time. Vision will prevent the enemy from sneaking up on your team or contesting the objective. And then you can also know where the enemy jungler is, and it will allow your team to reposition and block them from being able to enter the pit, potentially. There's many ways to do that. Control wards are incredibly important, guys, to place inside the pit itself, because if you didn't know, they cancel and block enemy vision of any regular ward, and I have not tried a far side alteration. I did not notice that, if it does that, but it won't block other control wards, but it can block vision. And they're incredibly important, guys. And control wards do not deny vision to other control wards. This means that when enemy will be able to see what is happening in the pit if one is placed. And make sure to destroy the control ward as quickly as possible, guys, if you're in pit. Because control wards aren't cancelled up by the control wards, so they could have a chance to end up stinging. So that's one of the things you want to do. Guys, in fact, wards can be anywhere. They can be in the river or in your own jungle too. So just make sure, you know, we have some ward sweepers and you clear them out. You guys. And wards, when you ward sufficiently, it'll give you some time to react to the enemy, guys. And every ward you place should be in an area where the enemy could possibly pass by it. And there's several ways to do it. If you look at depending on what side you're taking jungle from, where the enemy's coming from, you know, there's a lot to do with that. And then, for example, putting it behind the Baron pit if you're a red team, guys, is a good ward. A poor ward is better than no ward at all. And if you have any spare wards on you in person, place them around the objective to make sure it's safer to take wander into the jungle with a buddy. Make sure you don't get picked off, or if they're close to respawning. The enemy team is, you walk into their jungle and you place some wards, making maybe the path that they're going to come down. So that's one of the good things, guys. Number 2, don't always try and sneak it. Sneaking it, guys, can be beneficial sometimes. In lower elos, a lot of Barons are taken through pure luck and sneakiness rather than careful planning. The higher up you go, the chances of a sneaky Baron capture, it gets reduced significantly, because the enemy, the higher up you go, the more wards they'll place. Guess the more experience you get, you know, it's like, yeah, I'm going to put more wards down. So that's one of the things. And then I recommend that you try to avoid sneaking Baron in general, because it can go wrong, or you may either lose the objective or in life, or even both. You may also waste a lot of time and fall behind him far in XP because you're trying to take it alone. And when you're sneaking the objective, the enemy may realize that your team is missing for a long period of time and go and check the objective. The Baron's not easy to take. It's very tanky. It has it has a lot of health. And then, especially early on in the game, when it first spawns, you might not have the adequate damage to take it, guys. When it first spawns, it could take quite a long time to burn down, even with one other person, and that could lead to a big fighter giving it up potentially. If the enemies are aware of the surroundings, they will notice that you or multiple members are missing, and if the Baron is the only objective available, they'll put 2 and 2 together and rotate to your location, guys. Very simple idea. And when you try and sneak an objective, and you may not have the best setups as you're trying to rush the objective and take it as quickly as you can. This means you may have little to no preparation time toward around the objective, which can cost you. Vision, very important, guys. Vision is very important. And then, instead of trying to be sneaky and secure, guys, the objective without the enemy knowing, put time and effort to make sure that the objectives are safe and secure. And you can do this by 4 things right now I'm going to talk about. Placing wards around the objective to spot the enemy. Making sure the pit itself is not warded by placing a control ward inside. Or using a ward sweeper. Backing off if the enemy decides to rotate to Baron. And then please note, if you can take the Baron in a secure manner, then sneaking it is fine, but make sure you have sufficient warding around the objective so you do not get wiped out by the enemy on a late rotate they have, guys. Tip 3, be ready when the enemy jungler comes. One of the very things, this can be a very simple thing you could talk about, but I'm going to go into detail about it because that's what's important. But this is one simple thing, get ready to either turn and duck or kill the enemy jungler to just kill him. It can be pretty simple, but if the enemy jungler is alive and nearby and you attempt to take Baron, they might have the objective. They might have the opportunity to steal the objective because they have Smite, and Smite can deal some good instances of damage, which I'm gonna talk about. I'll get to it eventually, but yeah, they can make securing an objective with the jungler being nearby just because of his potential to steal can make it so much more challenging, guys. That's why I'm gonna recommend either finish off Baron before the enemy can get to your team, turn and fight as soon as they enter the river, or just back off. If you are able to fight the enemy, it's good to stop taking Baron and fight them instead. When you are focusing objectives such as Baron, your priority will be focused on the Baron itself, which leaves the enemy at full health. The enemy would be able to unload damage on your team, or maybe even potentially go unload damage on Baron. Guys, and a good reason to turn off from Baron and fight them is because they don't get close to Baron, and you can kill them and make sure you get the guaranteed safety to get Baron. This is important that you back off and peel away from Baron. Sometimes an enemy as a whole. And this is because they can win the team fight and take the Baron after. Make sure that you stay alive when the Baron is up, and it will allow your team to be able to contest it. Because sometimes if you're dead, maybe not going to 4v5, or yeah, let's just say 4v5, you might have to back off because you don't have the damage to contest it, so you give up a Baron. But however, if you could safely secure the objective before the enemy gets to you, and just go ahead and do it. For example, if the Baron is low enough for you to burst it down at around 2k or 3k health, then you should take the objective and then back off as soon as you have killed it. It's important to back off and not fight the enemy. So you recall, you keep the buff so you can empower the minions and get more objectives. You get the added stats to you. And then, yeah, guys, and then if you get killed after, the buff gets rendered as obsolete. So that's not what you want. Let's get into for the final tip. Know your smite power, or know your possibly the opposing jungler smite level, or even though your own jungler smite level, because smite, guys, it goes up with level, right? I'm gonna talk about it right now. You're gonna see it on screen. You've been seeing it on screen right now about how smite goes with level. So, and that's a direct impact of how you or your jungler move around the map and how they secure objectives, and it will drastically increase your chances of securing the Baron if used correctly. Smite develops throughout the game, being more damage every time you level up. So theoretically, later game, the higher level you are, the easier and safer should be take because of the smite being a higher level. So guys, if you enjoyed the video, as always, make sure you leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And make sure you stay on that grind. As always, leave a comment what you thought in the description. And when you subscribe, make sure you turn notifications on. And as always, follow social media down in the description. As always, make sure you stay on the grind. Peace. Until next time, stay safe out there.
That the brothers on the rise now. Woo! Endless celebrations all in my house. Levitating now, I'm super duper